you heard? Did you get the word? Gotta get myself going. Gotta get my seeds a sowing. Gotta do my thing. Swing, baby, swing. Got to go. Got to know. Got to see. And I've got to be. Got to do what I want to. Just do my thing and swing, baby, swing. Don't get uptight when things ain't right. Hold on, tiger. Don't lose sight. Hey, do what you can and dig your fellow man and do your thing and swing, baby, swing. He took a loaf of bread and fed the multitude. Cast your bread upon the water, he'll return to you. Many times fold, you'd be richer than gold if you do your thing and swing, baby, swing. Got to go, got to know, got to see, and I've got to be, got to do what I want to. Let's do my thing and swing, baby, swing. As you make your bed, so when you lie, this is what you do before you die. Before I die, there's just one thing. I'll do my thing and swing, baby, swing. Got to go, got to know, got to see, and I've got to be, got to do what I want to. Let's do my thing and swing, baby, swing. 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. So swing, baby, swing.
Good evening to the west, good morning to the east. This is a good program from the Savoy. And this is Big Daddy, band leader and bass player of the Belly Bros Swing Orchestra. Musician, writer, historian, MC, DJ, radio host, and you're watching and you're tuned on my YouTube channel, listening to the program All That Swing, music, culture, and history of the 30s and the 40s. I'll do the best I can to entertain you for the next hour, while we will be listening to either unknown songs and known songs of the swing era. The main focus is on the swing craze, but we will move from the early 900 to nowadays in order to have a wider sight from the roots of jazz to the evolution of swing music and dance. This particular program that you will listen to for 36 episodes is part of the Swing European Network project, co-financed by the European Union. The Italian Swing Dance Academy, who am a board member, represents Italy in this 3-year project that has 13 partners from 11 different European countries and whose main focus is on the artist mobility in Europe. And now let's get started, the episode number 29 with the great Wynonie Harris and a song from 1948, I Want My Fanny Brown.
Brown. Well, has anybody here seen Miss Fanny Brown? She ain't so good looking, but she lays that loving down. Well, she's 40 years old and she ain't young no more. She's 40 years old, she ain't young no more. But the way she loves you will make you come back for more. She left this morning, caught that morning train. She left this morning, caught that morning train. Well, I wonder if I'll ever see Fanny Brown again. Hey, Mr. Brakeman, come on back. Stop that train in the middle of the track. I want my Fanny Brown. 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 Look out! Well, I cried last night, cried the whole night through. Yes, cried last night, cried the whole night through. Fanny Brown is gone and I don't know what to do. Well, I don't know what went on wrong. Woke up this morning, I was all alone. I want my Fanny Brown. 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 Hey, hey, I want my Fanny back. I want to hold her in my arms and listen to her backbone crack. Yes, I want my Fanny Brown back.
I want my Fanny Brown back. Winona Harris, 1948. And as you heard, he was a powerful blues shouter whose music crossed over into jazz and rhythm and blues. Big Joe Turner was his idol, and he started everything in the early 1940s in LA, where he was acting like as a MC. And then he caught on big while with Lucky Millinder Orchestra. In the mid-50s, he faded away. Cancer, unfortunately. And now, from 1948 to 1949, with the Erskine Hawkins Orchestra, a band that arrived in, visited a band from the Alabama College, State College, in fact was called Bama State Collegians, hit New York for the first time in 1934, and then he got back for a second time with successfully, this time with an extended residency at the Savoy Ballroom alongside Chick Webb's band. Throughout the late 30s and the 40s, Erskine Hawkins and his orchestra were among the most popular bands, particularly with dancers at the Savoy. And so now, let's listen to Texas Hop. Yes. You're watching All That Swing by Big Daddy, and it was the great Erskine Hawkins Orchestra with Texas Hope, 1949. Now let's step back to 1936 with Staff Smith and his Onyx Boys, the band that was playing at the Onyx Club in New York during mid 30s for many years long. And we're gonna listen to Isamaggin Part 2, aka Musical Numbers Game. They were just a funny combo band with Cozy Cole on drums, Jonah Jones on trumpet, and everybody had to be high before playing. Or during the intermission, he said, Staff Smith, the violin player and the band leader, said to everyone, come on, let's get high right now, or you won't be back on stage. Musical Numbers Game.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to explain the Isamaggin game to you. Now, here's the way you do it. Anything with a 7 in it, or anything that 7 goes into, like 21, 35, you must say or understand? And anything with a cipher on the end of it.
Anything with a what on the end of it?
A cipher on the end of it.
A cipher? Man, don't be talking about no cipher. We don't know nothing about no cipher up here.
Well, what must I say then?
Say anything with a note on the end of it.
Anything with a knot on the end of it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, cipher to me, but not to you.
Here you know, look. Let's me and you compromise on this thing here, see?
Yeah.
Let's call that thing a 0.
Call it 0?
Yeah.
All right. We'll call it 0 then.
All right.
Anything with a 0 on the end of it, you must say whoop whoop. I'm gone now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, whoop. 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, whoop whoop. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29, whoop, whoop, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 38, 39, whoop, whoop, 41, 43, 44, 45, 46, 48, whoop, whoop, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 58, 59, whoop, whoop, 61, 62, 64, 65, 66, 68, 69, whoop, whoop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, whoop, whoop, call Isamaggin. Isamaggin, ooh. Isamaggin, bang. Dee-da. Now, wasn't that fun, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? Now, totally up here, top rocking and going on. These people want to hear swing. Swing. Swing.
Yes. Staff Smith and his Onyx Boys, Musical Numbers Game, 1936. And now let's meet 3 friends we met in a previous episode that are Dave Lambert, John Hendricks, and Annie Rose. Lambert, Hendricks, and Rose, the vocal trio, and they're gonna sing a Count Basie orchestra song that is Blues Backstage, recorded in 1957. And on the record there are some musicians like Freddie Green on guitar, Eddie Jones on bass, Sonny Pay on drums, Nat Pierce on piano. The rest of the plays are unknown, but it is Blues Backstage.
The curtains up, so I'm clowning, but when they ring it down, I'll be frowning. My baby quit me, waiting now to say goodbye. In the wings beside the curtain, on and on beside that luckier other guy, knowing while I'm clowning that I'm grieving, and wondering if she'll see by watching me just beneath the surface of my clowning, underneath the funny makeup that I'm wearing, how much I'm caring. And maybe then she'll see how much it's killing me. Oh, baby, please don't run off and leave me, please, pretty baby. Look at all the people waking up and laugh while I clown. Busy being funny, funny, funny. Now when you put me down, make them laugh, make them laugh. I think it's true, that's exactly what I do to you. And now you're leaving. Can't you see what it's doing to me? While I'm acting like a clown and making laughter, I'll be crying just a little laughter.
You right, don't cry, don't be brought down your first try. Do right, don't cry, then blues will pass you by. Do right, don't cry, ain't you hip?
I know.
To keep from crying. So baby, on with the show. Do the prettiest, wittiest, wailing, sailor, singing, a swing, a silly, steady, you know. To tell you the truth, I don't go for lying. You're acting glad while feeling bad. There's heartache, only blueless rings. Or when you're in the wings, and people out front don't know of the battle you wage. Backstage.
Blues Backstage, Lambert, Hendricks and Rose, Vocalese Trio, 1957. Great rendition of that song. And now let's proceeding with the book Swinging at the Savoy, memoir of a jazz dancer. And the jazz dancer is no one else than the great Miss Norma Miller, the Queen of Swing, who passed in 2019, May the 5th, and that who wrote this book in 1996. And it was the first one ever wrote about the Lindy Hop generation, second generation, and the Lindy Hop history. Then she wrote another one in 2009 that was Swing, Baby Swing, and I personally took care of the second and third edition with adding notes and new pictures with Norma Miller on stage with the Billy Bros Swing Orchestra touring Europe at 98 and 97. Could you believe it? She did it. We followed her. Like every children follows his mother. That was the time. Anyway, back in the 40s, Norma Miller quit with Roy Glenn, the love of her life. She never been able to marry, but there were two artists, everyone on his own road. Now, not that it was easy to be on my own and responsible for a group of dancers. Also, I was lucky I could count on for help when trouble hit. Joe Louis stands out as one of the most generous and kind people I have known. I met Joe Louis just after he became the world champion heavyweight boxer. After his big fight in 1938, he used to come to the Savoy Ballroom and he always gravitated toward the kids. He was a man with very little education, but when he became so famous, he never pretended to be sophisticated, nor did he try to get special treatment. Any time word that I was in need got to Joe through the grapevine, it would come through. I would get a message at the Hotel Teresa in New York to meet him at Mrs. Fraser's, a famous eating place for the black elite of the sports world, and he would meet me there, doing whatever he could to help out. Joe Louis, still champion, retired from boxing on March the 1st, 1949, and took some time to travel and relax. He enjoyed living big. That same year, he and his first wife, Marva Trotter, divorced. My group of dancers and I were performing in Miami, Florida, when we got word that the champ was in town. At the time, Miami was very segregated. We were staying at the Mary Elizabeth Hotel, where all the black entertainment and sports figures crossed paths. We met up with Joe there, and we were asked to pose for picture with him for the newspaper. The great Joe Louis. We had bookings, but not a lot of cash, and while in Miami we ran out of money. Our entire costume wardrobe was at the cleaners, and I needed $75 to get it out, but had no resources left and decided to ask Joe for help. We had a job coming up at the Bill Rivers Club and would be able to pay him back after the gig. Well, Joe always had a way of doing things without any fanfare. I was sitting in the lobby waiting to hear from him when he came in with his entourage. He always traveled with an entourage. He had just come from a ceremony at which they presented him with a tie. As they walked in, they were all kidding Joe about the tie and its loud colors. Poker-faced Joe responded in a simple way with words, "It's free, ain't it?" He came over to me, and when he reached down to greet me, he dropped the tie into my lap. "The money is in the tie," he whispered. He put the tie in my bag. I put the tie in my bag so no one would see it. Later, I left the lobby to look inside the tie, and sure enough, there was the money I needed for the costumes for the show that night. Not only did Joe Louis give me the money for the costumes, but he sent word to Bill Rivers that he would make a personal appearance and allow his name to be used on the bill with my dancers. We packed the place and were assured of a paycheck. Joe Louis was a wonderful friend and a fine human being. My dancers loved him. I loved him. Oh, great story by Norma Miller. And now let's listen to a friend of her, Ella Fitzgerald, and the Chick Webb Orchestra, 1939, "Tell What You Do."
About 3:30, my mom said, "Daughter, come here to me. There's things may come and things may go. But this is one thing you ought to know. Oh, take what you do, it's the way that you do it. Take what you do, it's the way that you do it. Take what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results. Take what you do, it's the time that you do it. Take what you do, it's the time that you do it. Take what you do, it's the time that you do it. That's what gets results. You can try hard, don't mean a thing. Take it easy, breezy, then your jive will swing. Oh, it take what you do, it's the place that you do it. Take what you do, it's the time that you do it. Take what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results. You've learned your ABCs, you've learned your DFGs, but this is something you don't learn in school. So get your hip boots on, and then you'll carry on. But remember, if you try too hard, it don't mean a thing. Take it easy.
Think what you bring is the way that you bring it. Think what you sing is the way that you sing it. Think what you sing.
It's the way that you sing it.
That's what gets results.
That's what gets result. Rebop. Yes, Chick Webb Orchestra, February 1939 with Ella Fitzgerald on voice. So Chick Webb was still playing because he passed 4 months later. And now let's listen to a song that every Lindy Hopper likes. And the song is Jive at 5 from the Count Basie Orchestra, a song that he recorded in 1939, although the Miss Blue Rhythm recorded it with another name 2 years before him. But what we're going to listen now is a rendition of the Oscar Peterson trio quartet. That is Oscar Peterson, the great Canadian piano player, Herb Ellis on guitar, Ray Brown on bass, and Buddy Rich on drums. Ladies and gentlemen, Jive at 5. Yes. Jive at 5. Oscar Peterson Quartet with Herb Ellis on guitar, Ray Brown on bass, and Buddy Rich on drums. And now let's jump back to 1947 with the great Buddy Johnson Orchestra. Another band that everybody at the Savoy Ballroom loved. The name of the song is Hey Sweet Potato.
How do you do? I'm fresh from Decatur looking for some sweet potato like you. Say, sweet potato, latch on, let's go. 'Cause I'm gonna love you, baby, like you never have been loved before. First thing in the morning, I'll buy your wedding ring. Then I'm gonna lead you straight to the preacher, and without a string, we're gonna do the thing. So hey, sweet potato, believe it's true. I hope to die if it's a lie, but there's nobody else but you. First thing in the morning, I'll buy your wedding ring. Then I'm gonna lead you straight to the preacher, and without a string, we're gonna do the thing. So hey, sweet potato, believe it's true. I hope to die if it's a lie, but there's nobody else but you.
All right. Buddy Johnson Orchestra, 1947. Hey, Sweet Potato. And this is the way of playing, the way of the rhythm that gave birth to the rhythm and blues, and then what became rock and roll. So now let's listen a song from the Billy Bros Jumping Orchestra back in 2002, a song that was a hit for black combos of the time, of the late 40s, and it is Rock This Joint.
Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. 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 Rock this joint, we're gonna rock this joint tonight. Well, we're gonna octo bar gun to the bar. Everybody gonna get so rock, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock this joint tonight. Well, the silliest boy on miles of guy. Everybody gonna rock tonight, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock this joint tonight. Say, rock this joint. 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 Rock, 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 rock. Rock this joint. Rock this joint. Rock this this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock 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 this joint, we're gonna rock this joint tonight. Rock this joint. 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 Rock, rock, rock. Pull down the curtain from 10 to 4 until the locker comes knocking at the door. We're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock. Rock this joint, we're gonna rock this joint tonight.
Yes, yes, yes. The Billy Bros Jumping Orchestra at the time, it was 2002. It was their third record, the second record, the Wild Party. So the Billy Bros Orchestra lasts since 33 years. It was founded in 1990, November 1990. So it's up to you to see how many years the band has been playing, and still here. So been moving from a rock and roll rockabilly trio to a full orchestra, big band with arrangements like a big band, and having Norma Miller with the band on 2016, 17, and 18, and having 2 records with her. The first one, Swing Love Fest, and the second one to be released yet. Okay, now let's proceed with Miss Norma Miller. In these years, just after the war, I was still thought of New York as my home. I stayed there for some time in 1950. I didn't see Whitey when I got back, but I heard he was living upstate in Oswego, where he had his business. He died there that year. I didn't get the news right away, and by the time I did, he had been buried. I'll always regret missing his funeral. So much of what connected me to New York was slipping away. I went by the Savoy a couple of times, but it wasn't the same. It didn't hold the fascination it once had. I didn't know anyone anymore, and it seemed that everyone had forgotten the Lindy Hoppers. I finally realized that there were no reasons to go back. It was 1950. 9 years later, Elsa Poppin. The doors of the Savoy closed in 1958, and by that time most of the entertainment in Harlem was gone. All we had left was Small's Paradise on 135th Street and 7th Avenue, and the Baby Grand on 125th Street. I was living with Mama on 129th Street on the top of a 6th floor walk-up. The streets had become a frightening place to be after dark. I would go out in the evenings knowing I could not return home until daybreak. The clubs were only open until 4 a.m., but fortunately I knew most of the owners, so I would sit with friends until 6 a.m., when I could return home safely. The junkies were usually asleep by then. Something terrible was happening to Harlem. Some said it was genocide. The places of entertainment were closing. Taxi drivers were warning their customers that coming uptown to Harlem was too dangerous. Harlem was hurting, and I could feel her pain. A menace began to overtake her. Artistic black people were leaving. They were being replaced by disillusioned young people who wore their wickedness openly. Harlem began to look ugly to black citizens. Among the hustlers, dope began to replace the numbers, and the pushers were getting bold, pushing dope all over Harlem, and they didn't care who they were pushing it to. The addicts mostly preyed on older folks. Apartment breaking, muggings, and all kinds of stealing became more common every day. One thing I want to stress is that the citizens of Harlem didn't bring in the dope. Dope was brought into Harlem by people with the resources to bring it into the country. Harlem was a convenient place to dump it, and a whole generation got wasted. No place was that more evident than in the music world. We lost many great musicians to dope. the saying in Harlem was, "Horse is boss." It controlled the mind and demanded everything from its users. The tragedy affected the entire community, though. When the pushers needed new buyers, they started selling to young people and school children. First, they sold it in the high schools, then in the elementary schools. This had a huge negative impact on the community, and a lot of people found a way to live. So did I. So that's another excerpt from Swinging at the Savoy, memoir of the jazz dancer that Norma wrote in 1996. And now, let's listen to the Jimmy Lansford Orchestra, the Harlem Express. And we are jumping into 1941 with a song named Battle Aches. Yes, yes, yes. All That Swing by Big Daddy, music, culture, and history of the 30s and the 40s, and that was the Jimmy Lansford Orchestra, Battle Axe, 1941, the Harlem Express. And now, reading the book Swinging at the Savoy by Norma, we saw that dope replaced the numbers. What were the numbers? It was a kind of lottery that it was very popular back in the time when everybody could play even 1 cent and getting 600 times whatever he used to play. So for that was very popular because people could really play nuts and have the chance to get something. They had to be able to see which numbers could be out, and the numbers were taken by the financial newspapers. So it was a system everybody knew, and there was a great market. Everybody used to play, and the It was called The Numbers or Politics. The record was black, was owned by black people, or at least Madame Stephanie St. Clair used to have a big slice of the door of the cake with the numbers, as well as Bumpy Johnson that was related to her. But then the whites tried to enter in it, and Dutch Johnson tried hard to do it, but was Stephanie St. Clair was really a hard-headed woman, and she even had a fight against the government for it, because those people they used to pay money to everyone for having this game going on. I mean, they used to pay politicians, they used to pay cops, and whoever. So there is a huge history to read about it. We will read some excerpts in the next episodes. And right now, let's listen. You can have a clear side of it in a couple of movies. Like one is Hoodlum, that really talks about Madame Stephanie St. Clair, and the other one is Malcolm X, where the first part of the story was Malcolm X was involved in the game of numbers. So everybody played, even Grandma used to play in numbers, as the great Cy Oliver, arranger and trumpet player for the Jimmy Lansford Orchestra, for the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, and under the army, or under the draft, he was a surgeon and had a big band. And now the song comes from 1949. Grandma plays the numbers.
We thought Granny was a square old lady. How wrong can you be? The awful truth is finally out. Just listen to me, boy. We found out.
Yes, we did.
We found out.
Yes, we did.
We found out.
Yes, oh yes. The grandma plays the numbers. We found out.
She wasn't just knitting.
We found out.
She was not babysitting.
We found out.
And she ain't kidding. Old grandma plays the numbers. She plays them every morning. Dreams about them every night. Gets up bright and early and gets her figures just right.
That's grandma. We found out.
Yes, we did.
We found out.
Yes, we did.
We found out.
Yes, oh yes. The grandma plays the numbers. Ho! Now she goes to the grocery way before lunch, digs all the price tags for a hunch, trips back uptown, looking meek as can be, says, 2 cents, mister, on $6.93. Now old Granny gets up with a gleam in her eye. We say, what's cooking, Granny? She says, my. Saw a cross-eyed man with a wooden leg in my dream, and you know I'm putting a nickel on $6.19. She plays them every morning, dreams about them every night, gets up bright and early and gets her figures just right.
That's grandma.
We found out, yes we did. We found out, yes we did. We found out, yes, oh yes, Grandma, Grandma plays numbers.
Yes, Grandma plays the numbers. 1941, Cy Oliver and his orchestra. And now let's step to another band we met a few episodes ago. That is the band of Willie Lewis and his Entertainers. And now we're going to listen to a song from 1937 that we heard. It's the original version from the Savoy Broadcast Radio live in June 37. So that same year, and exactly in October 37, Willie Lewis recorded in Europe the same song. So Willie Lewis came from the Sam Wooding Orchestra, the first black orchestra to hit Europe during the 20s and touring extensively. And then he got back to after the Sam Wooding disbanded, they got back to the States, and then he decided to set up a big band of his own, and so he did, and got back to Europe and stayed there from 36 until 41, when the war was already declared, and he moved throughout France, Switzerland, and so on. And this is a very interesting orchestra with black musicians, as most of the orchestra we listen to. So, 1937, swing, brothers, swing!
Captivate me, hot tempo stimulate me, hold everything, a swing, brother, swing. Don't stop to diddly-dally, get going, rhythm alley, can't help but swing, now swing, brother, swing. I'm ready to go, and ain't nobody gonna hold me back. Now say, now listen here, boy, hurry up and send me, let me go to town. It must be rhythm fever that made me want to leave ya. Can't help but swing, just swing, brother, swing.
You heard? Did you get the word? Gotta get myself going, Gotta get my seeds sown.
Alright, my friends. You've been listening to All That Swing by Big Daddy, and the last song was from Willie Lewis and His Entertainers, 1941, Swing Brother, 1937, sorry, Swing Brothers Swing. So, I'll be seeing you next month for the episode number 30. And this program that you will be listening for a total of 36 episodes is part of the Swing European Project, Network Project, co-financed by the European Union. The Italian Swing Dance Academy, who I'm a board member, represents Italy in this 3-year project that has 13 partners from 11 different European countries, and whose main focus is on the artist mobility in Europe. So, take care, get up, and keep on swinging! Hip, hip.
Loaf of bread and fed the multitude. Cast your bread upon the water, he'll return to you. Many times fold, you'd be richer than gold if you do your thing and swing, baby, swing. Got to go, got to know, got to see, and I've got to be, got to do what I want to, as do my thing and swing, baby, swing. As you make your bed, so when you lie, this is what you do before you die. Before I die, there's just one thing. I'll do my thing and swing, baby, swing. Got to go, got to know, got to see, and I've got to be, got to do what I want to. Let's do my thing and swing, baby, swing. 'Cause it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. So swing.